Right. Hey guys, good evening. I hope I'm audible. Thank you so much at first for my introduction. So, I would like to give a brief about myself before we start with our session. Thank you for the opportunity. And so, I have an overall experience of about 4 years and a couple of more months. So, I worked with various digital marketing and ad agencies, branding agencies. So, working across various verticals of industries, like coming from real estate, or maybe it can be IT, or let's say F&B, or let's say textiles. So I carry experiences in all of those. Lastly, I was working with a SaaS-based company as well, and I was associated with them as their marketing manager. And so today I'll be training you guys on, I think, a couple of tools. Like majorly we'll be focusing on five of them because we are running on a clock over here, I'm guessing. So we'll just try and focus on about five tools that you really, really need to be, savvy in this market of digital marketing, which has been pretty much booming and boosting for some time. So as we all know that, I mean, digital media has been there for quite some time and it's been booming overall. And with 2020 all of a sudden venturing in on us, I think we had like the entire industry went through a paradigm shift at that point of time, where overnight a lot of things had to change and things had to fall in place and the work had to still go on no matter what. So I think that most of the boom started from there. And everybody, no matter which stream you guys come from, like of course I'm sure, so while I train students with Skill Vertex, it's been quite some time I'm associated with them. And whenever I train students, I see people coming from various backgrounds. Like they can be doing engineering, they can be doing BCA, they can be doing BBA, and mostly I see these all students coming from different streams that they have picked up on this. So clearly, it's more about the skill that you get. So when I talk about skill, a lot of soft skills that we talk about that we bring onto the plate when we go to corporate. But besides that, the skills that we carry, let's say, what are our technical skills that we bring? Because we certainly want to be an asset to the company that we are going to rather than liability. So, what are the kind of skills that we carry? So, the more number of tools that we know in today's date, because I think as we are moving forward, we are looking at automating more number of procedures that would otherwise take human capacity for finishing it. And that being said, that timeliness and consistency both play a huge role into marketing, and especially from digital media, it's expected all the time, the more prompt that you can be. So sometimes it so can happen that okay, probably something has to go by 6 a.m. in the morning. You cannot be just awake at 5 a.m. working on that. So how do you literally handle those kind of situations, right? So you have a lot of tools that will help you to stay updated with things, organize things better, put things in place so that you might not have to go back and give it a second thought once you have done it, probably. So you can just clear the clutter quite a lot, stay organized, stay on track, not miss out on your deadlines, because they play a pivotal role, I would say. In digital media, you have to be on time. So now, starting with our session for the day, I will be sharing my screen with you guys, and let me know once you guys can see my screen. Give me a heads up on that. Cool. So I think we just had a brief discussion about how things have been evolving, etc. Right? So now we'll be moving on from here, and we'll see like what are the five digital marketing tools that would help you land a good job with Google. So I think this is the most important part where we need to focus on. And so the first thing that we'll be discussing, I guess, Google's own tools, and the best part of them is definitely they come free. So Google Analytics and Google AdWords are two of them. So Google Analytics is a part, we'll just come to that, and Google AdWords is the first part I think we would like to focus on. So AdWords brings in a lot of factors. It has got a lot of tools within itself that can. We all know that okay, AdWords help us run campaigns, any kind of campaigns that we want to run, paid campaigns that we want to run on Google. AdWords definitely bring that into picture. So now for running these kind of ads, we have a lot of other things that come into play, like let's say keyword research, as we know, SEO. I mean, very familiar term, right, and very popular term today. So how do we perform SEO? It has got its own types. It has on-site, off-site SEO. So on-site SEO mostly focuses on keyword researches, right? So now when I perform keyword research, we know that we use a lot of other tools like we'll come to SEMrush as well for the same or Ahref for that matter, and plethora of them available. So AdWords help you do keyword research as well. It helps you understand the kind of biddings that you have to make to it gives you even the columns where you are searching for keywords. You are forecasting keywords. If you have a bunch of keywords on your mind, let's say I would like to know what are the kind of stats that these particular keywords will have in the upcoming days, you can just put up that particular list and you can check that what is the kind of stats that they show in the upcoming days. Or maybe you can do a competitive analysis. You can put up a website, see the kind of keywords that they are using, and there are various KPIs that will help you understand if those keywords are important for you at all, like let's say the keyword volume or the kind of competition or what is the kind of SEO difficulty of that. And if you're running paid campaigns, in that case, it'll help you understand what is the amount that you should be probably bidding on that keyword so that you do not really overspend on anything. This helps you maintain a good and efficient budget into marketing as well for you. So saying all of these things, keywords, of course, these are the positive sides of it. And now one feature that Google AdWords bring in while running any kind of campaigns is also negative keywords. So these are basically the keywords that you do not want to be found for. So probably these are the kind of keywords that a strong competitor in your industry, in your domain is found for. So it might be very difficult for you to rank for that particular thing, and you do not want to be found for that particular keyword because maybe people just prefer that brand over anything else. Probably when they're typing out particularly those type of keywords, they are looking for this certain brand which is your competitor, so you might not want to be found for those things. So these are the kind of features that AdWords bring in on the plate. So now speaking of running all of these campaigns, all of these advertisements that you're running on various platforms. It can be a video ad, probably that you're running on YouTube, right? So it can be a video ad, it can be just a normal ad that we come across on any other website, it can be a native ad, and so many possibilities. So now speaking of which, digital media brought in a whole storm in the world of marketing because you could finally analyze how you're performing. A billboard put out on the road, probably you have, or even a magazine, you can have a rough idea about the readership that, okay, probably Femina magazine is read by so and so, and mostly gender would be women for that, or a different kind of magazine like Travelers magazine. Probably only travelers read that, but there might be other people also. So, keeping all that aside, so digital media has made it easier for us, more convenient for us, that we can make more result driven decisions, make more informed decisions for all the actions that we're taking. There's no right or wrong in marketing. That's the best part, I guess. It's all about trial and error. You go ahead, use your creativity, see how that's working out. So now how that's working out for you is the part where Google Analytics would come into play. Let's say you have a website, you can track down everything about your website. Now if I have Google Analytics, I would get to know probably these are the particular web pages on my website that are performing well. Or if I'm getting so and so traffic, where am I getting them from? Am I getting them from social media? Am I running any kind of email ad campaigns like newsletter campaigns? There are so many platforms that help you do that: Zoho, HubSpot, and so many of them, right? So where am I getting these traffic from, and understanding where I can optimize more, where I can do better. Now if I have to give you an example, like I said, I would get to know where am I which pages are performing well, let's say on my website. So I would definitely have other pages also that are not performing well, which will be rather more than the number of pages that are performing good. So if there are a couple of pages that are not really performing well, probably the pages which are performing good, you can interlink that particular page which is not performing good to this page which is actually bringing in a lot of traffic. A page performing well means that page probably has got lesser bounce rates and more traffic. So you can add more links to the page that is not getting enough traffic to this one, so that you can track more number of traffic to the pages which are not performing well. So that's how Google Analytics can help you. It can also help you understand the kind of demographics that you have, probably the geography, the places that people are taking more interest into your product or your service. Or if you have a portfolio, let's say a website that you're trying to just go ahead and put it up for job seekers to get to know you, and you're trying to connect with other people even. If you have a portfolio like that, Google Analytics is the place that you go even to understand that you know how many people are getting to know your portfolio that you have made. So it's a great tool to sell anything, starting from yourself, your portfolio, till getting a job, till having a full-fledged agency that you're running, or even Google Analytics is a place where you can track down all of the different accounts of your clients if you're handling multiple at the time. So moving on to our next tool is SEMrush. Speaking about keyword research, we'll just tap onto that point at first in SEMrush. It helps you understand keyword gap. So Google AdWords, Google Keywords information that you get from there, it helps you understand the kind of keywords that would probably you should be using, right? Or the kind of keywords that your competitors are using. So you have to just enter each link at a time and go about it. But in SEMrush, you have the privilege of adding about 2 to 3 competitors. You'll have the options, and that way we can understand what is the kind of keyword gaps that we have. So when I speak of keyword gaps, it's basically probably the keywords which are really performing well for your competitors, and you are not really using that, or the kind of keywords that are performing well but your competitors are not really using that, and that is probably uh, the opportunity that you can tap into, and make an intervention over there and see that if those are the key phrases that you should be focusing on, and you should be leveraging your brand or your organization or your website that you're looking forward to doing that. And SEMrush, besides giving you a keyword gap link, that's just, I mean, tip of the iceberg, I would say. SEMrush is a full-fledged tool which can work even as an agency tool for managing a lot of different accounts. It can also give you your social media insights. If you integrate all of your social media accounts, it can give you all the insights of your LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and a lot of other ones. And it's a very good on-site SEO tool as well as off-site SEO tool. So now on-site and off-site SEO as well as technical SEO, they have a couple of intersection portions as well. Now, speaking about which, if I go to there's a tool which is present within SEMrush. It is called On-Site SEO Analyzer. So if I go into that, what happens is you can have various projects over there. You can have multiple, depending on the kind of plan that you have on SEMrush, because SEMrush is not 100% free. There are few services which are free, and most parts of it is paid. And there are various packages that you can go for depending on the kind of usage that you're going further for, right? So now on-page SEO analyzer, as I was talking about, you can have various projects of various clients, various websites that you can add. So now, if I go with that, it will show me the positions of my focus keywords. Now, let's say I want particular web pages to rank for particular keywords, and I can see what is my website's position for those particular keywords when people are searching for that. I can check what are the keywords which are negatively impacting my website. I can check which are the keywords which are positively impacting my website. So the keywords which are probably positively impacting my website, that's well and good. The ones which are negatively impacting the website, that doesn't mean you remove those keywords. That means that those particular keywords need much more attention from you. That is, those are the keywords probably on those particular web pages. Probably you should populate the content and tweak the content a little bit more with those focus keywords that you want to rank for, and that's not yet happening for you. And besides that, we have other privileges as well on SEMrush, like for offsite SEO. And for offsite SEO, we know that offsite SEO has got a few aspects like reviews, feedbacks, maintaining social media, online reputation management. But besides all of that, I think that the backbone of offsite SEO is link building or backlinks, which is prevalently spoken of. So backlink building is one thing. How do you do that? So previously, people used to go to Haro, HARO, helping a reporter out. That's the full form for it. Or probably Quora is something which we are very familiar with. So people used to go over there. People used to give answers to um, various questions asked over there, various queries, and people used to ask each other for backlinks that, hey, can you offer me a reference link, a backlink? And more often than not, you have to do a whole lot of research over there to understand whether you are getting the backlink from an authoritative enough domain, and authority has to matter, the relevance has to matter, and so many things come into play. So there's a huge research that goes behind it. But uh, as the days pass, I think as the digital media, as the digital landscape altogether evolved, there are so many factors that came into play that I think somebody sitting down and going into all the facets of understanding offsite SEO and all the factors that could help you understand if a link is worth it. That's a very tedious job. And I think with all the technology and with all the smart devices and with the smart technology around us, it has made it a little easier on our part, because SEMrush has got a section which is like backlink analysis, where you can, of course, put all the websites and see what is the domain authority, what is the kind of relevance that they have. You can get all the scores that you need from there. But also at the same time, SEMrush helps you in link building in a way that it gives you an opportunity where you click on that. There's an option where you can click on your prospects. So prospects give you, as the name suggests in itself, prospects basically gives you a whole bunch of list or an index of the prospect companies or the prospect websites, from where if you get a backlink, that's going to be helpful for you, that's going to add to your website's authority, which is definitely going to help you rank a little bit higher in your SERPs. Now, point number three. So, tool number three is Hootsuite. So, Hootsuite is a full-fledged CRM, customer relationship management tool. It's a full-fledged CRM or a content management tool is also that you can say it helps you basically manage a lot of accounts. Now, let's say you are an agency, or probably you are a freelancer who's working with a team of 4 or 5 people, and you are managing good 10 clients at this point. And if you even have to do that alone, if you're a one-man army, and if you have to handle so many things altogether, you definitely need organization at that point, and you cannot be keeping a tab of every deliverables like that, right? So Hootsuite definitely helps you manage that, schedule that. And when you have to handle so many accounts altogether, you cannot be managing it with different Google accounts of different clients and different customers of yours, and log into each one of them, go into the meta suite of every Facebook, Instagram, have a different tool. For LinkedIn, rather, you would have it all in one place. That would make the whole procedure easy for you, right? Convenience. We all like that. So Hootsuite is definitely the place to go for in that case. And there are a lot of alternatives to that, like BuzzSumo, Sprout Social, HubSpot, or even Zoho CRM. I think helps you with that. And I think Buffer is also a good example for that. So you can schedule your posts. You can also make your posts from here. You can track analytics from here. You can understand what is the kind of engagement your posts are getting. You can check out the mentions on your posts, like if you go by the normal analytics that we have in the backends for Facebook analytics or Twitter analytics, it gets a little bit difficult to understand where all your brand has been mentioned, or it takes a little bit of manual and tedious job for understanding where all you have been mentioned. Instead, if you have a tool in place like this, like Hootsuite, etc., which like automates a lot of procedures, so it makes it easier for you to understand that, okay, probably I have been mentioned by this particular a web page, or probably somebody has given a reference of mine, so probably I might ask for a link from them that, hey, you've used me as a reference, so probably put my link also over there. So having a backlink like that, or probably having a reference even on social media, if somebody is mentioning you somewhere, in that case probably you can tell them that, hey, you can tag me on this particular story or in this particular post that you have made where you mentioned me. So that helps you bring in relevant traffic. So that is directly not your traffic, right? Where you are bringing that whole set of audience from, but then you are getting the attention of a relevant traffic, which is one of your competitors probably, but you are getting the attention of relevant customers or the audiences that you're looking at. So if you do not have a CRM like that in place, in case you are handling multiple clients at the same time, then you might be missing out on a lot of opportunities. So once you have a good SWOT analysis in place, your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats, I think platforms like Hootsuite or any other CRMs, as I mentioned, can really help you go a long way, because you'll be organized. Because I mean, discipline is a thing that we really, really need. When I talk about discipline, the key things is consistency. When I talk about consistency, everybody just talks about it. We just need to be consistent. We just need to be regular for social media. So consistency is has got nothing to do with the frequency that you do. So now we talk about social media. We always have this question that how often should we post on social media, right? So every day, yes, every day. Why not? If you think that your product needs it every day, Mintra needs it every day, Ajio needs it every day. If you think you need it every day, please go ahead. But other than that, I would say that if you think that your product probably, let's say you want to send out a newsletter. Now you want to send out a newsletter twice in 1 month. So ensure that you send it out on the same dates every month. Ensure that you send out around the same time every month, so that people know when to expect you, and ensure that you're not irregular about it. So that is the consistency that we look at. So it might happen that you can skip. Sometimes we like might not be as mindful, right? So we have chances where we miss out things. So just to avoid all of those things, because when you are in an industry which has got pretty much cutthroat competition, right? And whichever company or whichever clients that you're working with, they have their competitors. So being in time is very important, as I said. So you might want to cut down on that one, cut down on the clutter, and CRMs like this are always pretty prompt to help you with that. Now, number four is MailChimp. Our fourth one focuses solely on email and newsletter marketing. And a couple of other platforms also help us with newsletter marketing. HubSpot, MailChimp's already here. I think HubSpot helps you with that. Zoho helps you with that. And Hootsuite also has got portions, I think, that can help. No, I think Hootsuite doesn't help you with newsletter marketing. But yeah, a few other platforms where you can go for free newsletters. I think LinkedIn is a brilliant place to be on if you're looking at sending out free newsletters. A great place to start with. But over here, since we are focusing on Mailchimp, again, it's a paid tool. You can send about, I think, 100 newsletters a month or 50 newsletters a month. For free, and sorry, 50 contacts for a newsletter that you can send it up to for free. And more than that, if you have more than that number of contacts to send newsletters to, you have various plans according to different budgets, and that you can pick and choose. So MailChimp almost does the same thing, just like Hootsuite, but MailChimp does it for emails, right? So you can just track down various KPIs. So what are the KPIs that the key performance indicators that you need for emails, probably? So now that you have sent out an email, now you would like to know that the total number of people that you have sent it out to. You pretty much know about it, the number of recipients that it should go to. But you have to check out like how many people it has probably actually gone to, how many people have actually opened that. Out of the number of people that have received it, how many people have opened that? If the number of people that have opened that, compare it with the number of people, you might have a CTA to it. So any kind of marketing that we are doing, we have a goal at first why we are running it, And since we know why we are running it now, we want our customers to definitely take an action, right? That is basically our call to action, our CTA. So you might have a button to it. Probably you want people to apply now or sign up for something or learn more. So all these buttons that we see is basically our CTA. So you might want to track down how many people have clicked on the CTA. If you have a lead generation form, you might want to see how many people have filled up that form over there. So you want to be tracking down all of these, and also you want to see how many hard bounces have been there, how many soft bounces have been there. So hard bounces are basically the emails that have not been found altogether, probably. So those are wrong email IDs altogether that have gone through. So, MailChimp and other newsletter, or rather email service providers, ESPs, they help you out with automating your email campaigns, tracking the analytics for your email campaigns. Now, automation parts come in. Let's say you want to run a campaign, you have it on mind, and you just design that whole thing. So MailChimp, etc., they also have their own templates that you can go by, and it makes it very easy and convenient. And it's not like previously how you had to design the whole thing, upload it, and send it across. So you have a lot of templates over there that you can, it's just a drag and drop, and you just send it across to them. Now automation comes into play, like let's take an example when we are on the customer's end, right? So as being on the customer's end, when we are sending, let's say we click on a subscribe for a newsletter, or we are signing up for a webinar. So when you guys sign up for a webinar, let's say even with Skill Vertex, probably you guys have gotten a mail which says that you have successfully signed up for the webinar, along with the date, time, venue of it, and all the details that you basically need over there, right? So definitely, no one person sitting out and checking whenever they are receiving a sign up and send out a mail. So as soon as you send this, so this action that you perform, these are called as events when it comes to the backend of any CRMs that we are using. So you perform an event that triggers a particular action, and the CRM helps you automate that. So let's say you click on sign up, or you finish your sign up process. In that case, the CRM automatically pushes this email in your inbox that your sign up procedure is successful. Or if you're subscribing to something, probably welcome to our channel. If you're unsubscribing from something, probably some companies can also send out, which is a very great thing to do. They also send out that hey, we just saw that you just unsubscribed probably, or uninstalled our app. Why have you done that? Probably you would like to drop a feedback or a kind of review, etc. So that helps them understand and analyze what they can do better. This helps the marketing team, of course, every time, or even the product team, to analyze the problems, or to analyze the kind of demands that their customers or their audience base has got, and work on their products and market it even better. So the last but not the least is Canva. It's a design tool, as we all know. So Photoshop has been there, I mean, since time immemorial, I think now. So Photoshop has been there forever, but the kind of training that you need, and that is like a hardcore graphic designing thing, as we know. But times have changed, and we need things pretty prompt. We need things pretty fast. Sometimes we don't have the time to wait out for the designer to send us a design and then send across a whole campaign. Probably the campaign has to go right now. So in that case, what do you do? So there are free tools like Canva. There's Figma. Figma is an alternative to Canva as well, which you can go for. So these tools help you, build quick creatives where you have your templates. Once again, drag and drop. You don't have to do much over here. And not just graphics, you can go ahead and make your resume, make your presentation. You want to create a whole mood board from there, you can go ahead and do that. You can do any kind of freestyle art over there, the endless amount of templates. And I think there are premium templates as well. Some of the elements that you use over there, probably a couple of characters that you're using, that can be paid, but the variety that you get is voracious altogether. And you have plethora of options in already the free templates, or the free elements, or the free designs that you got over there. And yes, that's pretty much it about Canva. And I think I gave an alternative already for that. You can go for Figma as well, which can be helpful for building even the wireframes, building good demos for even UI UX. So that can be helpful for that as well. So now speaking about all of the tools over here we were discussing, probably that will help you to land a good job into Google. Now I think it's very important on our part to also know that Google has a very innovative hiring system, and I don't know how many people are aware of this one. I hope this session helps you guys to know that a little bit how the interview process with Google might go. So the very first part is resume screening, right? So that's common with every companies that we go through. First of all, you just submit your resume, and you basically talk a lot about yourself, the kind of projects that you have done, etc. We also usually add a cover letter, but this might come as a news to you guys. Google doesn't really believe in cover letters much, and it's quote by them itself that we don't really know if that will help you land the desired position that you are really looking for. They do not really believe in cover letters as much. You can write one if you would like, but I think you should focus more on building the resume. And what they try to focus on is the practical work that you have done, and what is the kind of what are the kind of skills that you would bring on plate. And mostly talking about the skills, definitely tools. They believe in skills that can be like tool wise skills, etc. They can be built over a period of time, but also the kind of creativity that you bring in. So design thinking is a part where Google really focuses on, I would say. So whatever creative works that you have done, try to bring that into um, notice of your recruiters. And Google tries to, Google focuses on short resumes. So if you can keep it to about one page, that's the best thing that you can do. So summarizing everything in just one page, it can be tough, but it's definitely not impossible. They do focus on that way more. That doesn't mean that, if you have vast experience, you cannot go for 2 3 pages, of course. But if you can be more creative and put it all in one page, they look forward to that. And second part is where you get a recruiter call. Of course, after all the screening of your resume is done, you get a call from your recruiter, and they might ask you a few basic screening questions where they can just ask you, why did you choose Google, and why do you think you are a good fit for this position? They might just talk to you just to fathom how your communication skills are. And this is mostly a very non-technical round. It's like a background check. Probably they'll ask you, where are you from, and where did you do your where did you finish your education from, if you have any further plans for your higher studies, how long do you plan to work, and why have you chosen this particular field, if you have any interesting stories to share with them, like about your passion, about your career path that you've chosen. So more or less, it's a very interesting conversation that's going to go along with your recruiter over there. And point number three comes where there's a phone screening once again. So this is like a little bit more technical than the recruiter call. In phone screenings, basically they would probably ask you why you are a perfect fit for this. They would check your communication skills, and this lasts for over 45 to 50, like 60 minutes, about 45 minutes to an hour. And this can be a very arduous process altogether, and it's very long procedure, and you might have 1 to 2 phone screenings. And that's why I have put that S over there in the bracket. So you might have 1 to 2 phone screenings. And this is usually with a co-worker, probably that would be in your team later on if you're working with them, or probably a hiring manager that you'd be having this call with. So a lot of things come into play, and this is a place basically where they kind of rate you, if you are a good hire, if you're a strong hire, if they want to go by you, or if you're a learning hire that they would like to hire, but you have a long way to go and you have a lot of things to learn. So that is called learning hire under Google. So these are the kind of ratings that they mark you. So this is phone screening, and after that, there are on-site interviews where they call you down to their physical office spaces. So this can also last about 45 minutes, half an hour, 45 minutes, and this can be very informal. This can be probably over a lunch that you might be having with a colleague or a senior who you would be working with later on, a senior manager that handles that particular team that you'll be working under. So this goes a little bit technical, where they might ask you a lot of questions about various tools that you've worked with or various ideas that you came up with. How did you bring in a disruption? And how you were a team player, and in a moment of crisis, probably what was your approach towards things, and how did you make a mark altogether. So that's about it. So that's what on-site interviews are about. That's how much it lasts, about 45 minutes. And then comes a hiring committee, which is a very interesting thing. So after you're done with your phone screenings and your on-site interviews, all of your ratings are done by your employers, right? You know, your hiring managers, if you're a strong hire, learning hire, all those parameters I told you. So now hiring committee is a complete different third party panel. So they are not associated with Google's hiring panel. They are completely third party. So your profile, your resume, your portfolio, if you have sent one, if it needs one, along with all the feedbacks that your phone screenings had, or your recruiter call had, or let's say your on-site interviews had. So along with all of those reviews and your profile, they send this whole information to another panel, and ask for their feedback, what they think about you altogether. With all the phone screenings, even probably the call recording would go through, or probably they have, record the video conversation that they had with you, and would just ask for a review from them as well. So Google does this to kind of avoid any kind of bias into the hiring, because the employers who are there, sometimes they might know the other person, right? So in that case, there shouldn't be just any bias, and they just prefer opinion. They just prefer a complete third party opinion on this one. And yeah, if you get a heads up, I think from this hiring committee, then you're good to go. And the last part is the salary negotiation part. And definitely that's a favorite part of all of us, where we put forward the kind of expectations that we have. But I think a very small tip over here would be that do not really go by a number immediately, that this is what I expect exactly. Wait for the other person to come up with a number at first, because sometimes it so happens that you are asking for something according to the industry standards, but the company might have a bigger budget than that. And it is good to understand at first what is the kind of threshold that they have, or probably where they are ready to really start with you. So that's a good place for you to play around with, and then you can probably go ahead with the negotiation part, where you can put forward what you are expecting out of the whole thing. So yeah, that's pretty much the interview procedure with Google. So we end our session over here, guys. Thank you so much for listening to me. So over to you. And if you guys have any questions, you can just ask me.
Also, meanwhile, there is a link posted in the chat box. So there is an ebook which we'll be sharing with you about this, the key takeaways of this particular webinar. So do fill this particular form to get the copy on your mail. So yeah, there is a form posted in the chat box. Please refer to that and like fill it up. It is all pretty clear. Thank you so much, Ankita, for your valuable insights about the resume and how to go ahead about Google and the 5 tools which you taught. It was really beneficial for the students, I hope. And no questions, I guess. All right. Yeah, that's about it. Thank you for joining, Ankita.
Thank you so much for the opportunity,
Resume
and
and
I hope it helped everybody.
all right. So yeah, this is our website skillvertex.com, yes, wherein you can quickly sign up and then you just have to add your number and you receive an OTP and then you come to this page basically. So these are the various programs which we have, along with mentors just like Ankita. We have various domains and various mentors in various domains. This is our website skillvertex.com. So these are the various categories which we have. These are the various programs which we have. Let's say you come to this page basically. Yeah, so there are various batches which we have with this. You can join in and you can start with your program along with this particular mentors. As well as every week twice we will be having webinars, so make sure these are free webinars, so make sure you are staying tuned, you are just logging into the website. All right, guys, so that's about it. Thank you for joining. I hope you have filled all the details in the form required for the ebook, and thank you for joining. I'll see you on the next Wednesday. We will be having on the next Friday, sorry. So we have our webinars on Wednesday and Friday both. All right, guys. So you can simply search on the Play Store. You will find the app and you can start downloading it. There also you will be receiving updates about every session which is going to happen. All right. On the next. Thanks for joining, guys.